Hello, I'm Brian Hemmer. I'm with The Inevitable You, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing the most important thing you need to build a successful business, to create passive income, or start a side hustle. And I promise you, it's not a piece of software, it's not a course or program that you've seen out there before, or it's not a marketing or sales strategy. It's one very important thing that the most successful business owners, the people that actually do find success with creating passive income and quitting their jobs and replacing their regular paycheck, it's the one thing that they all share. And I'm going to share a simple process. I'm going to share some tools that you can implement right away to have this one thing. So hang to the end, and I promise you'll get some value out of this video. So who is this for? If you want to create passive income, if you want to create financial freedom, if you're thinking about starting a business or a side hustle, if you've tried to start a business or side hustle in the past and have struggled or even failed, this video is for you. If you're not interested in any of that, please drop off now. And the ones that want to stay around, you're in this for wanting to learn, how do you be a successful entrepreneur? How do you be a successful business owner? And why should you listen to me? Well, I've been in business for 14 years. I've had my own business coaching other business owners. I've been able to see, both through my own experience, through my own struggles and challenges and success, as well as observing the other business owners that I've coached, what this one most important thing is that they need to have to find success. I've been through the fire. I've worked with hundreds of people, and in this video, I'm going to share the one observation that I've seen over the years of what separates the top 10%, from the rest. Why do so many people struggle in starting a business, and why do most businesses fail in the first 5 years, even the first year of incorporating? So you're going to learn that here, and I promise that you're going to get some value, some steps forward to overcome this one pitfall that a lot of people fall into. So why do people fail? Well, it's easier than ever to start a business. All you really need is one of these. Start an Instagram profile. There's free website builders out there. It's easier than ever to start a business, especially an online business, and create passive income streams. And there's tons of courses, there's tons of programs out there. I'm sure you've seen them or been bombarded with ads. People selling their courses. They'll train you on how to be successful or create passive income streams, whether it's through investing in stocks and crypto, real estate investing, drop shipping, affiliate marketing, digital courses, and just to name a few. I mean, there's tons of ways. It's really becoming unlimited, ways that you can create additional income, even being an influencer, right? So, but the fact is that most people really struggle. Most people actually fail, and even with these courses and programs, it's somewhere around a 90% completion rate. So, 9 out of 10 people aren't even completing the program. And then the ones that do, well, again, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of those businesses end up failing in the first 5 years. So the question becomes, why? What separates the successful from the unsuccessful? What do they have that the unsuccessful don't? Well, it's your mindset. It's no other thing. It's not resources. It's not luck. It's not money. It's not who you know. Those things certainly help, and those are valuable. But really, it comes down to your psychology, how you think, how you operate. Because most focus on the technical and tactical, strategic aspects of starting a business. All these courses and programs out there, they teach you the steps, the strategies, the technical components of starting an online business, or how to create passive income, or invest in stocks, or invest in real estate. But they, almost all of them, overlook, or they don't spend enough time on the most important factor, which is your psychology. Because here's the metaphor, there's all sorts of diets out there, and they all work. Some are better than others, obviously, but even the crazy cayenne pepper lemon juice model diet, you'll lose weight if you follow it, right? Now, again, there's some programs, some courses are better than others, but that's what it really comes down to, is how well do you follow it. It's not about the course and the program as much as it is how well do you follow the steps, how well do you implement what you learn, and that all comes down to your psychology. Up to what point do you follow it? Where does it break down? Where do you, maybe procrastinate? Where do you stop? Where do you limit yourself? And being a business owner, creating your own income, it's a completely different mindset than most people are used to, because, we're taught, we go to school, we get good grades, we pass the tests, we, please the teacher, we get a good job, we, do our tasks, we meet our deadlines, we get our paycheck, we pay our mortgage, we pay our bills, we take care of the kids, and then maybe if you've got some left over, then you can enjoy yourself, then you can, go on a vacation, you can buy something nice for yourself, buy a nice car. So a lot of this is driven externally. It's driven by, pleasing others and, having to do something for a boss, do something for a teacher, do something for a spouse. You're being driven by a paycheck maybe. And when you're a business owner, that all completely changes. Now you're your own boss, you're your own teacher. You set the rules, you set the deadlines, you pay yourself, you create your own paycheck. It's all on you now. It's what you decide. It's when you make the money, how much time off you want, how you want to live your life, run your business. That's a completely different mindset and psychology than most are used to. And that's where we see people really struggle in creating a business, creating, even just a side hustle, if it's something to just supplement your, day job income. A lot of people really struggle, and this is why. So, what does mindset mean? When I say mindset, how do I adopt that mindset? Can I have that mindset? All of this is teachable. All of this is learnable. These are tools. And it starts with looking at how you think and feel, right? Your thoughts lead to emotions, and emotions can lead to thoughts. There's kind of this cycle that happens between our emotions and our thoughts, and that leads to actions, or for most, inaction, right? And so, if we're thinking great thoughts, if we're feeling great, it tends to lead to more action, more inspired action. If we're not feeling good, or we're unsure, we're not, feeling confident, well, that can lead to procrastination, or, not taking action, delaying. So really looking at your mindset as an operating system. If you think of your brain as a computer, and we've got this hardware, this 3-pound bag of fat cell, water, microamperes of electricity, and every computer on the planet has a software that's loaded on it, right? It's Windows for your PC, it's iOS for your Mac. There's an operating system that allows you to interface with it. And our minds, our psychology behaves very much like computer software. In fact, when they first were designing computer software, they modeled it off of human logic. If-then statements. If this happens, I do this. If this happens, I feel that way. It's equations. It's programs. We're programmed to think certain ways, and that's through, mostly our family of origin, meaning our parents, right? For most people, the people that you spent the most time with in the first 5 years, because what traditional psychology and the latest in neurosciences both agree on is when you're pretty much set in the age at which you're set in your ways, or which traditional psychology will call your personality, or neurosciences, latest in psychology, will call your neural patterns, right? The neurons, how they're connected, the neural connections, the patterns that we fall in. We have patterns of thoughts and behaviors, right? This is pretty much wired in or baked in at around the age of 5, believe it or not. And it's modified slightly by life experiences. So things are reinforced or things are challenged. But for the most part, that base software, that base operating system is programmed in at a very early age. And it's what we believe about the world. It's what we believe about ourselves. It's, our belief system. And a lot of this is subconscious. We're not really aware of it. We think certain ways, we feel certain ways, we behave certain ways, in large part as habit. We form these patterns over time. If you think of a record playing, if you play it over and over again, that needle creates a groove in the record. It's kind of the same concept with your neural patterns. We form these neural connections, and that's, it saves energy. It's easier for us to operate that way. The less we have to think about doing something, the better it is for us as far as, conserving energy, right? So this subconscious belief system that's at play really drives a lot of our actions and our thoughts. And you may have seen, the graphic out there where there's the iceberg, here's the tip, and then underneath there's the larger part, or the 90% of the iceberg. Yeah, that's your subconscious, and the 10% is your conscious, right? And that's kind of interesting, almost scary when you think about it, that only 10% of what we're thinking, feeling, doing is conscious, and we're largely driven by what's running underneath these subconscious beliefs. Again, what we believe about ourselves. Are we capable? Do you believe you can be a successful business owner? Beliefs about money, right? Money grows on trees versus money is hard to get. Money is only for the rich and greedy, or, am I an introvert versus an extrovert? Do I have what it takes to be a successful business owner? When we start to look at the belief system that's running, a lot of times, what's occurring in the subconscious is a big obstacle and a big reason why a lot of people have a really tough time, starting a new business, creating passive income. Now, within that operating system, within this mental software that I'm talking about, one example would be resilience. How resilient are you? Because one of the things that you're going to find is, you'll be met with a lot of challenges. You'll be met with a lot of even failures, as you get out of your comfort zone, as you're doing new things, you're taking new actions. And, with that comes failure, an increase in failure. And how you deal with that, your failure, management strategies and meanings. So does failure mean I can't do this, I just don't have what it takes, I'm a failure, there's something wrong with me? Yeah, I get other people can have success, but this failure must mean I can't do it, right? That's an equation, that's a belief system. Or failures, it's lessons, it's growth. This is opportunity. This is driving me forward to the success I'm looking for. With every failure, I'm getting closer. I'm learning more. I'm growing. That's a totally different mindset, right? So how you deal with failure along this route of starting a business is one example. Your discipline. How disciplined are you? I mentioned earlier, for most part, discipline comes externally for a lot of people. We're pleasing a teacher, a spouse, a boss, right? A parent, a friend. We're driven externally or outside in versus internally or inside out. It's what I want. It's my goal. It's what I think is right. It's what I want my life to look like. It's my business. It's how I'm conducting myself and my business and the success that I want. That's a huge shift. That's a totally different mindset. That's being disciplined versus, or self-disciplined versus discipline. See, discipline, again, mostly happens externally, but when you can create self-discipline, and there's even more tools and things you can do to create that psychologically in your mindset, but that's a huge piece of finding success as a business owner. Goal setting and planning. So again, a boss might give you a deadline and say, I need this by this date, and most people do a great job of meeting that deadline. But do you have deadlines for yourself? Do you set goals for yourself? What we find is that 65%, let me clean this up a little bit, 65% of people don't even write their goals down, don't even write anything down. When you get into that top 35 percentile, that's when you start to see things like to-do lists, and shopping lists. They're actually putting things on paper, and that alone has so much power because you're putting it somewhere. You're making the commitment. You're collapsing the thoughts, the goals, the desires onto a piece of paper. That's the first step in making it real. And maybe the next step would be putting it on your calendar, and having a reminder set for you. And, I want this amount of money. I want this income. I want this kind of success with my business by January 1st, right? So there's a psychology that goes into goal setting and then planning that. And then the bigger piece of this is actually how do we do goal keeping? So it's one thing to set and plan a goal, but there's a whole different psychology on how do I implement this? How do I keep the goal? How do I stay on track? How do I stay disciplined and, be resilient along this journey? Goal keeping is the bigger component of the successful entrepreneurial or business owner mindset. Along with that comes fear management. So as I mentioned earlier, you're getting out of your comfort zone. You're dealing with new failures, new actions. The fear actually rises as you do this, as you start a new business, and maybe it's you're investing money, and there's fear that comes with, well, I might lose this, right? Or it could be a fear of failure, or it could be a fear of what are other people going to think of me. If you're going to become a different person, if you're going to think a different way and feel a different way, adopt a new mindset, that you're going to appear differently to others, or maybe starting a business and putting that out there, putting it on social media and sharing it with friends and family, people are going to have thoughts around that, and so is it a fear of what people think of me? The fear is rising, and how you manage that is a huge component as well, because what we find with successful business owners, successful people in general, they have great fear management strategies. Fear isn't debilitating, and that's the majority. Fear is a signal that, hey, something dangerous, something bad might happen. Maybe need to pump the brakes. I need to think about this. I need to slow down. That's how most people deal with fear. Or fear can be exhilarating. It can be exciting. It can be the fuel. It can be what empowers you. And the metaphor I like to use here is if you think of a woman rock climbing on an 800-foot cliff, and we freeze frame her, and we look at her adrenal and cortisol levels, the biochemical, hormone markers for fear, adrenaline and cortisol, they're through the roof, right? They thrive on that experience. The adrenaline junkies, right? They thrive on it. Now, we take a man who's deathly afraid of heights, and he's standing on an 8-foot step ladder, reaching over to put the final ornament on the Christmas tree, and we freeze frame him. Again, he's deathly afraid of heights, 8 feet step ladder, Where are his adrenal and cortisol levels? Yeah, they're through the roof as well. So what's the difference? 800-foot cliff, 8-foot step ladder, totally different experiences. Yeah, the woman on the cliff, her meaning around fear, how she interprets it and perceives it, is I've never been more alive. This is amazing. This is fueling me. This is empowering. This is making me stronger. It's making me focus. So we know that's what adrenaline and cortisol can do. It makes you almost superhuman. For the man, it's I've never been closer to death. This is terrible. I need to get down, So how you're perceiving it, that same response, same physical response happening in the body, but can you get used to it? Can you dance with the fear? Can you, use it, think about it as this is fueling me to be an even better version of myself, is the start of how you reprogram your mind, reprogram your mindset. And then with that becomes a whole other mix of emotions that happen, and how you deal with your emotions, your emotional mastery, deal with frustration and anger and being upset, and how you can limit and diminish those, and how you can create and direct more empowering emotions of excitement and happiness and passion and joy and love for what you're doing. This is a whole other huge toolbox, that I work on with clients, is how to not necessarily control your emotions, but be conscious of your emotions, be conscious of your actions to deal with the emotions in a resourceful, productive way. Again, to limit the disempowering or the half-empty emotions, and create more of and direct more emotions that are going to empower you and fuel you. So these are just a few examples. I gave you a few tools in there on what you can start doing to, one, become aware of your own mindset and look at what is potentially limiting me. Where does it break down for me? Is it I don't like failure. I don't deal with failure well. I don't like fear. I have a tough time dealing with the fear that comes with this. I need more resilience. I need more, maybe it's discipline. I'm not great with setting my own goals and holding myself accountable. These are all good clues for you to start looking at your own psychology and say, what can I improve with? How can I upgrade my psychology to create the success that I want? And everyone can learn this. There's tools to do this, to reprogram the mind, to adopt and program this mindset of a successful business owner. And you must do it. It is the most important thing, the most vital thing you need to do, again, because most people overlook this. They jump right to the course, right to the program, the tactics, the strategies, and they're not paying attention. They're not looking at their psychology. So, I have some stories around past clients, that have done this work. I had a real estate investor, Gene came in, we looked at his mindset, his psychology, and we uncovered there was subconscious programs running. He didn't quite believe that it was possible. He came from a family of origin that, you're supposed to struggle and making money is hard, and, you have to work really, really hard for your business and to create passive income. Oh no, that's for other people, but not us. So there was this subconscious belief system running that was sabotaging him at every turn. And as we uncovered this and we worked through it and we reprogrammed some belief systems about his power, his abilities, beliefs about money even, and how you can earn it and achieve it. Once we did that, he really started to accelerate in his business and, doubled his portfolio and, even more on the track to creating his passive income goal to, quit his 9-to-5 jobs, and what, not even 9-to-5. This is a guy who's working 2 jobs and trying to create passive income on the side. So he's well on his way. There was another client we had, was a professional athlete who, came out of playing professional baseball and was going into a new career field, and it was financial services, and something that was totally out of his comfort zone, right? Totally new and foreign. And he was struggling. He was having a tough time, and he saw other people, his colleagues, having great success, but was having a tough time. And we asked, what's the one program, the one sentence, the thing that your mom or dad said to create success? And he's like, oh, that's easy. Doesn't matter how strong and fast you are, it matters how hard you work. So think about this. The number one program for success doesn't matter how strong and fast you are, matters how hard you work. How does the brain interpret that when you hear it doesn't matter how strong and fast you are? What kind of child would you say, it doesn't matter how strong and fast you are? You would only say it to a weak and slow kid. But here's the interesting thing. He was a professional athlete. Do you think he was slow and weak? No. He had the physical gifts, but I said he received this from his father. So who was the slow and weak one in this story? His father used this for success. Doesn't matter how strong and fast you are, it matters. So he worked really hard. So it worked for his father to an extent, but now, this person using this same equation, and he created great success as a professional athlete, but now he's in an environment where he's slow and weak, and he's just trying to work hard, but there's a subconscious belief running that he's slow and weak. And it has effects, it has impacts, and it was impacting him in this new career field. And so when we change this to, it matters how strong and fast you are, and you work hard and you work smart, and believing that he's strong, that he's fast, that he's intelligent, that he can figure this out, it completely shifted everything for him, where he started having success in his new career field. There was another one, one of my very first clients, Fred. He was a manager at a Chipotle, and he was getting into real estate. Wanted to quit his day job at Chipotle, create the passive income. Started working with him. There was a mix of subconscious beliefs. Also, he came out of the military, so he, learned discipline, pleasing, the squad commander or, his upline, doing things externally, had the discipline from military, but didn't quite have the self-discipline, didn't know how to, really set his own goals, hold himself accountable. And so reworking his subconscious belief system, giving him some tools to create resilience and discipline. He quit within, I think it was a few months, and, he's having great success with his real estate investing business. So a few examples of, how quickly things can turn around when you just shift the thought process, shift the mindset. So this is how I can help. If you've, again, tried to do this, you're thinking about doing this, creating passive income, starting a business, these are the types of clients I love to work with. I would work with you one-on-one, walk you through this process of upgrading your mindset. We're getting deep into your psychology. This isn't a cookie cutter course or program. This is unique to you. What's driving you? What's the limitations in your psychology? What are the specific tools that we can use to reprogram your mindset, to uncover the subconscious beliefs, to reprogram those, to rewire and program the operating system of a successful entrepreneur, business owner. And I'm going to be by your side, and I've been running my own business, like I said, for 14 years. Not only do I provide the insights and the coaching around reprogramming your mindset, but I can help you get started in your business. looking at what do I really want to do? What's the business I want to start? And how do I get launched? And how do I get going? And when you get going, now how do I deal with all the new psychology and things that come in, whether it's failure, whether it's fears rising, whether it's stress? Those are all things that I specialize in. So if you're interested at all in this, I would love to work with you, would love to help. You're going to see there's a button here on this page or on this video where if you're interested, you can submit a short application. It's a few questions, very straightforward questions. I just want to qualify because this program isn't for everyone, but you'd answer those few questions, and then you can schedule a time for us to meet, 30 minutes, so we get to know each other and see if this is a good fit. I want this to be, I want us to have the rapport. I want this to be comfortable for you, and I want to make sure that you're a great client for what I have to offer, and I'll tell you straight up whether I think it's a good idea or a bad idea, to work with me or not. And I have 2 prerequisites for you if you're interested. If you decide to submit that application, schedule a time with me. 1, you have to be all in. You have to be already, 100%, this is the path you want to go. You're willing to put in the work. You want to create your business. You want to figure this whole side business, passive income, start being an entrepreneur thing out. You have to be willing to put in the work, because unlike what a lot of the other people out there say, that it's easy, you can do it in hours or days. No, this takes work. This takes time. It can happen very quickly with the right psychology, and that's my role here. And you have to be willing to invest at least $500. That's my lowest ticket, lowest entry into a program. If you decide to work with me, you have to be willing to invest $500 into yourself. And again, what more important investment, what better investment can you make than in yourself and your psychology? And these tools not only helps you be a better business owner, this goes into all other arenas of life. So whether you end up starting a business and are successful, you're going to have these tools for the rest of your life. These tools can improve your relationships, your career, if you're staying in the career you're already in, or your health. These tools, it's an operating system. You're upgrading your psychology, and you're going to have these tools for the rest of your life. So what better investment can you make? I believe it's the best. $500, pretty small investment for the returns that it's going to make for years to come. So look for the button, answer the short questions in the application, schedule a time to meet, and I look forward to meeting you. Thanks for watching.